Hopefully this camera is going to work today. Hopefully the bike will work primarily. Yeah, you can't shift it into neutral. I don't like that. This bike always sketches me. You cannot put it in neutral, no matter what. Once the bike is running, no neutral. Go cruise around the neighborhood here for a minute. Counter steer? Yes. Counter steer. Look at that. Interesting. Waiting for this GPS thing to work out here. Counter steer. Going. Oh, this is fun. School is out, man. Counter steer, yes. Downshift? I don't know what just happened there. Downshift, stop, go. Alright, speedometer's working. Look at that. Still learning how to shift here. Downshift. Stop. Go. Fresh oil. Oh man. Counter steer. Look at that. braking. Gonna come to a stop. Going. So that's my first big ride on the bobber. I've ridden it up and down the streets here and through the neighborhood a few times to test things out here and there. For those that have been following the build, it does work. The motorcycle works. I can assure you that. It's just these little bugs that just bother me, and they might not bother other people. The suspension works, totally works, and I'm very happy how the suspension works. And like, you don't even notice bumps on that thing. The seat is very comfortable. That Minicell seat on there, very comfortable. I'm going to use that foam again. I might put upholstery on it next time, but I will definitely use that foam. I highly recommend the foam. You don't even notice the seat, although I haven't ridden it for a long period of time, so there is that. The cooling system works. The brakes work. I haven't had an issue with the brakes since we fixed the rear brake again and put new pistons in it. Everything seems to be working at this point. The GPS speedometer is a little funny because it does take a while for it to find the satellites. Granted, it is overcast here in upstate New York, and maybe that's part of the problem, but it does seem to always take a few minutes at the least to acquire satellites, and then it shows you the speed that you're going. So you kind of almost have to let it sit for a bit before you even start going anywhere if you really want to be, appropriate. The fuel tank, that totally works, and I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with the new valves I've got for the fuel tank. Those are very nice. They're nice to the touch and everything. I like those. It was a great upgrade. Neutral. Now, neutral does not work, and I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if it's a clutch issue or if it is a water in the oil issue interfering with the friction discs in there. I'm not sure. I'm still hesitant about the water in the oil. I'm hoping that I've got that problem solved at this point. I don't know what else to do at this point, so I'm really hoping that that is solved. I probably need to change the oil again because after running it to see, I'm sure there's residual water in there and it doesn't take much water to foam up the oil. Hopefully though, the underlying issue is actually gone at this point, I'm hoping. Other little things on there that seem to work, the mirrors, the bar and mirrors, as cheap as they are, they seem to work great, no vibrations or anything like that, and I have great views off of those. I just have to get used to using them at this point. A lot of my riding issues at this point are just me being a noob and getting used to riding a bike, and specifically that bike. The Goldwing, and I don't know, I assume it's mainly just me, but at 45 miles per hour, you can feel the speed. I can feel, it feels like I'm going really fast at 45 miles an hour. So I haven't had that bike over 50. I've had it about like 48, I think, is my top speed on that thing. I'm very thrilled to go 48 miles an hour. That's a lot of excitement at this point. The turn signals are working well. I had to glue one of the caps back onto the turn signals the other day, but that seems to work just fine. The electronics, everything is working great on it. The starter clutch continues to work great thus far. I'm hoping that continues. I have no reason to doubt that it will continue. The battery, fantastic battery. Highly recommend those thus far. Can't imagine there's going to be any issue with that because that's one of the more high-end things I bought for this bike. Overall, I'm happy with the bike. It is still a big bike. It's heavy. This CB500 is really light compared to that bobber. So there is that. Turning it in corners and stuff, I'm a little bit I'm a little bit sketched out on turning it on leaning it too much because it is kind of low, and we do have that engine. It is low and wide on the bottom, so I'm afraid I'm going to be scraping things pretty easily on that. It does turn heads. People do look at it. They see that thing coming and they stop and they stare. Not that that's a major thing for me, but people definitely seem to take note of the bike. But yeah, I think it's a pretty neat bike. I just need more practice with it. So I'll be holding on to this bike for a while so I can fully acclimate to it and actually enjoy the thing. Right now, I'm very cautious to take it out too far from the house because I'm afraid things are gonna break down. I'm gonna get stuck somewhere, and we don't have like a trailer or an easy way to just scoop that thing up and bring it back. So there's that. So I don't want to take it too far, but at the moment it runs well for the 5 or 10 minutes that I've got it out on the road. It at least has passed that test. Hopefully we'll be able to get longer and longer tests as time goes on here. But the season is winding down very rapidly here in upstate New York, and it's already, I think it got up to like 65 today, which is not bad for upstate New York, but the weather is cooling down for sure. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me rant about this motorcycle. I hope you appreciate it, and keep on wrenching on your own projects. We'll see you next time.